Hello everyone, this is Joel over here, and this is our 10th episode of a React series. And in this episode, we will look into the topic called what is hooks. As a first step, let's look into what is use state hooks over here. So, now what is use state hook and why is it useful? So, before seeing these two contents, let's see how the components in the React is been rendered in the UI. So as I said in first episode, I'm not sure whether it's in first or second episode, we used to have a two main JSX file which is main.jsx and app.jsx. So here main.jsx file will load app.jsx file over here, and this will load the course component over here which is cards. So basically main.jsx will hold app.jsx, and after app.jsx is been loaded, it will load the component which is called cards, and that will be rendered in our UI. Okay, so if any actions has been happened inside the rendered UI, will React be re-rendering it again? This question says that React doesn't re-render anything as per his normal libraries over there. So here comes the hooks, which is used to bypass the React, which makes some UI to be changed after rendering, which is called re-rendering the UI while it's been already rendered. So let's see how is it. Example over here, we have button called enroll. So if this button is been clicked, there is no change in the UI, right? So now let's consider we have a variable called where. Okay, where is very old. Let's go with let. So let purchased is equal to false. Let me keep it as. So here I have the button which has on click property and handles a function called button handle. So once this button has been clicked, it opens this function which is over here. And for right now, I'll just make this thing as a comment. Okay. So what I'm going to tell is if the button is clicked, let's make the purchased value as true over here. Okay. So once the button has been clicked, the purchased value will be true. So now once this purchased is been true, what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to create a p tag. So here I'm going to use ternary operators. Instead of going with if else, if we guys go with ternary, it ends up with single line over here. So let's write the ternary operators. So other than the contents which you're going to enter inside the p tag, they should be wrapped up with curly braces, right? So curly braces indicates they are a variable or function, you can say. If they are under quotes, they're used to render it in the UI. So since you're going to write a logic over here, we are going to use this curly braces. So what I'm going to tell is purchased question mark, which is if purchased is true, purchase question mark in the sense, if purchase value is become true, then we can just make a UI to render the course is being purchased. Okay. Else. So colon is used to create a else part. Else we can say get it now. Okay. So now if we go and check inside our rendered UI, you can see get it now is being default because till now purchase is in false. So let's click and see this button. So according to our logic, if we click the button, purchased should be true. And if purchased is true, it should render the course is purchased instead of get it now, right? So let's see what happens. Now let's click. You can see nothing is happening over here. It's still in get it now. Why? What's the reason? Let's go and print this purchase and see. Console.log purchased. Okay, I'm just printing this purchased. Once this button has been clicked, purchase will become true and console.log is been printed. Okay, so let's open inspect console. Let me refresh it. So now let's click on these buttons. You can see purchased has been true, but still our UI didn't change over here. This is because React will render all the UI once at a time. If it's been rendered, you can't manipulate the rendered UI again to bring back a new UI over here. So here comes use of useState, which is as a normal sign says, right? State is kind of three different types, which is solid, liquid, ice. These are three states for water. So same kind we are gonna implement states over here, which is gonna make our whole variable into a state. Example, here this let purchased is a local variable, whereas this can't be used inside a function because it's a local variable, right? It should be state variable. To make it as a state variable, we are going to use this use state over here. Let's see the what is the syntax of use state. So let me remove this. First, our data type is constant, square brackets, our variable name. Our variable name is purchased over here. Purchased, comma, set purchased. So purchased, comma, set purchased is equal to use state. So once you click the use state, React will automatically import the use state import statements, but still you have to look into the statements. This is very basic syntax. We are just importing use state from React. That's it. So syntax over here is const purchased set purchased use state is by default value should be given over here. So set purchase is also a method, whereas use state is also a method over here. So the value which we are going to enter over here will be assigned to this purchased value. So now let's make it as false. Okay. So purchased value is being used as false over here. So now here, instead of doing in this method, we have to use this set purchased. So set purchased is a state variable, right? So set purchase, I said it's a method over here. So instead of equal to, you have to use this curly braces and give the values to be changed, which is true over here. Good. So now purchased is being changed. I mean, previously purchased was in false. But once this set purchase becomes true, this purchase will become true over here. And here we have to change it to uppercase. Okay, so yeah, done. So now if the button is been clicked, enroll button is been clicked, it just opens this button handle function. So button handle function will set the purchased value from false to true over here. Purchased is false. This button handle will set the purchased value to the true. And once this becomes true, we are going to check over here. If purchased is true, then the course has been purchased. Else, get it now. So now let's refresh it. Okay. So let me make this command and okay, fine. Now let's try clicking a button over here. So now you can see the course has been purchased. Yes, it's not a re-render. We are just rendering this particular card alone. Second time. Other than these three cards, only this CSS course card is alone be rendered again. So now let's see clicking on this. Yeah, it's working. Yeah. So this is how you can manipulate your rendered React UI to bring some changes in the UI. So here we have seen an example using a data type, right? So let's see an example using some computational functions over here. So now while clicking on the enroll button, let's make this as enroll with discount. So okay, we got the buttons. So now we will pass a discount value. I'm not using the proper discount functions over here, just giving you an example how a computational functions other than a boolean data type can be used over here. So button handle, let's give the discount value as, let's say 25%. Okay. So as I said in previous episode, for buttons, if you're passing an argument, it should be in anonymous function, which is called arrow function over here. Okay. So arrow functions we have included. And now, and here we are going to create a variable, right? useState variable, which is const. Let us use it as discount. Okay. And set discount, which is equal to useState. So what is the default value? So we are gonna discount this price, right? Where is price? Okay, price has been removed, I guess. Let's use this price, which is, let it be h4 props dot price. Yeah, so now price has been included. So we are gonna change this price with the discounted value. So our default value should be props dot price. Okay. So now this button is being clicked. 24 is the value which is being loaded over here in the amount. And we are gonna change this set discount value, which is, first it was in discount, and we are gonna change the discount value with some computational functions, and we will use set discount method to set the value for this discount, right? So now set discount, it's a method. So here what I'm gonna do is, amount is the discount we needed to subtract it, right? So the amount we have, it is discount minus amount over here. So example 25, like consider the price is 100. So discount will be 100 over here, and using set discounts, we are just setting the value as 100 minus 25, which will be 75 will be loaded over here. Okay. So now let's check over here. You can see the numbers are being not subtracting over here. Let's see the error. Okay. So here computational functions is happening over here. Discount value is being changed, but we didn't say the UI to render the discount thing, right? So here instead of props or price, we have to render this discount. So now if we click, you can see 25% is been reduced over here. You can click multiple times. Even here it's working. Even here. So even here. So this is the way you can use a computational functions to make changes in your rendered UI. So this is the use of useState hook, and we have started our main chapters in React. Let's meet you on next episodes with other hooks in React. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.